So this is one of those Christian statements that has greatly outlived its time. The statement that we are supposed to take up our cross and follow Jesus, right? This idea was during a time frame where Christians were actually being persecuted to a certain degree. They were a very lesser known religion and did not have much political power, didn't have any military power. And so they were subject to government propaganda as by Nero or Domitian, and others. If you wanted to blame some group for some act, then you find a small group that did not have power to protect themselves. So the idea of taking up your cross as Jesus was a valid term at that time frame. But once Christianity became the religion of Rome in 381 by Theodosius, this statement loses all its flavor. It already began to lose its flavor at the Edict of Milan, when Christianity was legalized in the Roman Empire. But then the Council of Nicaea, when Christianity was organized and the Nicene Creed was formulated, and the Christian churches were now growing and more politicians were giving money to Christianity. And then by 381, as I said, it became the religion of Rome, of the Roman Empire. Christianity had power now. Power that was backed by government, power that was backed by the military. You could not persecute Christians from another source. The only persecution that remained in Christianity after 321 were Christians persecuting other Christians, i.e. Christians persecuting the Gnostics, the Inquisitions. Although, yes, a lot of the Inquisition was against the Jewish people, but the overwhelming majority of the Inquisition was against other versions of Christianity. And so on and so forth, through the witch trials and all of that. Those persecutions were there. So to take up your cross, what cross are you taking up? Nobody's persecuting you. Christianity is well protected by governments all over the world. Now, you go on and talk about the freedom and liberties because you have the choice every second of every minute of every hour. You have the choice of freedom of religion because people have died in military campaigns and formulated democratic governments outside of the church and outside of totalitarian kingships, fiefdoms, and all these different things. The reason why, that's why you have freedom of choice. You do not have freedom of choice because some God gave you freedom of choice. You can go to Saudi Arabia. You can still practice your Christianity. You can't proselytize to somebody, but you can still practice Christianity. They won't persecute you because you're Christian. You can go to Bali. You can go to India. You can go to China. You can go to any of these countries and you can still participate in your Christianity. Nobody's going to bother you as long as you're not bothering them. The problem with most Christians is they don't know how to leave other people alone. But to say that you have these choices and liberties, nah. Now you have the choice and liberty to be able to choose whether or not you want to follow this God. But here's the thing. Nobody's going to punish you if you don't. Not even your God. Because your God does not exist. And if your God was to exist, I'm going to give it to you for a second and say that your God existed. And I meet this God. He comes and sit down next to me and have a cigar with me. He got a lot of splaining to do. Yahweh, you have some splaining to do, is what he gonna get out of me. He is not gonna get some, I was so wrong, I don't know, like y'all think. Nah, Yahweh got some splaining to do. But y'all have a great day. And remember always, you gotta free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.